Hi everyone. Today we will be talking how software architecture saves time in real projects. So let's discuss about the cost of change in the software. Most of the software projects do not become difficult for the developers because they can't code. They become difficult because the architecture makes every changes dangerous. Architecture makes or breaks your software. Most software don't fail because developers can't code. They fail because the architecture makes change impossible. The reality in the system where everything is tightly coupled in monolith system, when we change in the code in one place, it propagate everywhere. So sometime when we change in UI, the change occur in many places. So every developer have an experience when they add a small feature, suddenly five other modules will break. We change database field and UI stop working. We add new API and suddenly the performance drops. So what is the cause of this? Because in the starting of the project, what generally the developer or the team think that without architecture, if we start we can go fast in the beginning, but the reality is after the launch the cost of change rises sharply. After this should take hours, start taking a days. So no architecture feels fast at first. Architecture is not a cost. Architecture is reduction in future delivery friction, which have a strong message if we compare with our day-to-day development. Modular system make changes manageable, where everything is bundled in one module. So whenever the change occur due to one region, we have to change the result. Feature delivery is faster, testing easier, and performance changes are much safer. So the takeaway is good architecture make change manageable. Similarly, good structure pays off with long-term velocity. The investment. Early structure requires more thinking at the start, but the return that we get is very um, worth for the development team. Low maintenance cost, fast and safe changes over time. The takeaway is good architecture stay uh, what to say like reduce our time for the delivery of the feature. The graph shows that uh, the changes is very low cost during the development. Dependency must flow inward toward the code. Like the core will not reference any other layer, but other layer will do reference it, which is the backbone of like we have a clean architecture, onion architecture, hexagonal. So every architecture what they suggest is the dependency flows inward. Similarly, if we bundle everything in one module like UI, database, infrastructure, the change will occur and that will have a clear view where that change will go. So in this way the development or changes are applied precisely at the required location. So it will provide the stability for core business rule which remain protected and stable in the center. Isolation of the infrastructure and UI. UI will not directly go in infrastructure layer. Infrastructure layer have a core logic which will be applied by the layer. for the layer. So never UI and infrastructure should never control the core. The professional flow that we have for the development like clean architecture, hexagonal architecture, onion architectures, and the pattern that solve the problems, port and adapters, modular monolith, and the principle that we apply separation of concern, dependency direction, business logic isolation, and many more that we have for the this software development principles. Among them, there is a solid also, which is a very easy to apply if we understand our core business logic well. The goal of architecture is not the perfection. The goal of architecture is making the change cheap. Good architecture does not remove the change, it absorbs the changes. So this is the message that I want to convey to all of us developer. As a developer, we should try to adapt the better architecture to make the change cheaper. Future proof software is not built by luck, it is built by design. Bad architecture, the change is very hard. Good architecture supports growth, which we require for the real time projects. Architecture is not optional for growing system. If you want software that survive growth, pressure and new requirement, architecture is not an optional but a followed very well from the day first. Thank you so much.